Bien le bonjour et bienvenue sur Frade et Culture, l'émission audiophonique des volontaires.
Audiophonique, c'est genre... Oui, en fait, c'est un podcast. C'est trop bien.
Bonjour à tous, bienvenue dans cet 7e épisode de Frade et Culture. Cet épisode est très spécial parce que ni Sarah ni Paloma ne sont avec nous. Et avec Mathieu, on a décidé de faire un épisode en anglais. So let's get started. After both Mathieu and I did our personal work presentations, we'll be talking about the movie The Blind Side, released in 2009. And Mathieu, you can start now.
Okay, yes. So today I'm going to talk about a YouTube channel named NCHammer23.
Funny name though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dude making content about anime, so...
Okay.
It's an American YouTuber named Nick Connor. Nick Connor.
I guess so,
And he, on this channel, he speaks only about anime and mostly Naruto.
Okay.
So he makes like explanation videos of events and character rarely spoken about, or just that we don't have a lot of information about. He creates theories about these events and characters and bases his explanations on events that happen in the manga or the anime and on the extra stories and data books that the author wrote.
Just have one question.
Yes.
How does he not run out of video ideas? Because, you know, at some point the series must be over, right?
Yeah, I mean, so Naruto, well, sometimes he speaks about Boruto, which is the following story.
Ah, okay.
But, like, he still does a lot of content about the initial, like, storyline, like Naruto. But he speaks about, like, but as I said, he speaks about, like, theories. Like, he does his own theories about, like, events that, like, we just have the name of and roughly when it happened. So based on that and the events that he knows, because he knows basically everything about the manga, maybe more than the author himself. And so like he is like super dedicated to these videos, and just that's how he keeps coming up with new content.
That's really
and
cool,
also sometimes he debunks and like explains fan theories. So yeah, on top of his own theories, as I just said, he does the same thing with fan theories, and he also makes like power scaling videos, ranking and explaining different abilities and characters.
Okay.
So like some abilities are used by different characters, so he's like, yeah, which one has the strongest form of this technique or whatever. So yeah, and he does this on his main channel. He does mostly on Naruto, but he also has a second channel called the Weeb Commander. You can just clearly know what it means.
Yeah.
And on which he talks about any other anime, but in the same way. So he does like videos on Hunter x Hunter, My Hero Academia, or any other anime like Demon Slayer, Black Clover, whatever. And what I find really impressive about this YouTuber is that he, like, his dedication and will to always learn new things, or like he knows, as I said earlier, he knows basically the anime better than the author himself. And like recently he finished reading and watching One Punch Man, and he already did like 3 videos about it, like explaining how strong the characters are, or
It's so crazy how much time he probably spends.
Yes,
doing all
he
that.
spends, I think he probably spends like at least 1 hour on a video. Like he does, like his videos are between 15 and 30 minutes long. And also, like, well, he spends hours recording, but
And
he
probably
also
cutting them, right?
he does not do the editing himself. So he has editors, but still, like all the time he spends on like doing the researches and everything. And the second most,
he never runs out of ideas.
He never runs out of ideas,
crazy.
because like even like this morning, like he posts at least 3 videos a week.
Oh my god.
Like across his channels.
Yeah.
So like at least 2 are on his main channel, so about Naruto and Boruto, and like even this morning, like, well, I watched it this morning, but like 15 hours ago, he just posted a new video about like a theory about 2 characters being related or not, and like it's
It's
crazy.
crazy. You
Yeah.
have to be so conscious while watching to
Yeah.
like get like to really pick up everything
Yeah,
in
but
order to
also
make these videos.
yeah, but also like he reads a lot, like every other book, because there's the main story and the manga, but there is also like extra books on characters, like on like extra stories.
Cool.
But so like based on these and the data books, like data books are just books written by the author explaining different abilities or like events that aren't told during the main during the manga.
Mm-hmm.
And so like based on these and fan theories or questions he gets like on emails, he just keeps doing more content, and it's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah.
And yeah, on top of like the 3 or 5 videos per week he does on all his channels, he posts at least one TikTok like Slack or like Instagram reel or YouTube short
like some
a
kind
day
of
per
social media.
Yes, he is really active there because he posts at least once a day, like replying to like fans' comments or like questions or like his own theories, but like within a minute. He just does like quick explanation, and then on his channels he makes like the whole 15 or 30 minutes subject.
Does he have like many followers?
I don't. I just checked his Instagram earlier. He had like 60,000 followers
okay.
on there, and I think on YouTube he has already passed 1 million subscribers.
Oh, so he's like very known in the
Yes,
in
but
this genre.
and what's really impressive is that he barely. I think he started on like late 2020, or like he's been only around for like 2 years.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And yeah, so in 2 years he posted like 250 videos.
So
So-
people must really like his work.
Yes. Well, I'm checking right now if I can see how many subscribers he has on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he has like a lot.
Really?
Well, a lot. Yeah, at least probably 1 million.
Oh wow. Okay. Then people actually must like his videos.
Yeah, I mean,
now.
I do. I watch them every time because it's super impressive and interesting to learn new things about
Yeah.
like an anime that I've
Yeah,
like.
I get
It
that.
stopped. I think it stopped in 2017 or something.
And he still makes videos.
No, like the anime,
Yeah.
like the main story stopped like
And he still
5 years ago,
Wow.
and he still managed to make new content about it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I get that if I really like something, then I want to know everything about it. And so I would probably also follow a YouTuber like this.
Yeah.
I really get it. Okay. My part for this episode is actually because we've talked about, how is it again called? That game that recently got into a series.
The Last of Us.
Yes. And then I thought about The Walking Dead, which was
Okay.
probably like the first series that I ever like really liked.
Okay.
I think I was like 13, 14 when I watched it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It was serious, like it has an impact on me.
Oh, zombies.
Yay! And just so you know, the series started in 2010 and just finished in last October in 2022.
Okay.
And in total, that's 11 seasons and 177 episodes. They are all like around 45 minutes long.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah. And the story is based on a comic with the same name, The Walking Dead. So, yeah. And I really, really like it because in general, I love dystopic movies or series. So in general, I love it. And it's kind of like not relatable because it's, you know,
It's a zombie apocalypse
a zombie
happening
Yeah,
in the United
yeah.
States,
Yeah.
which is like, no, it's
No.
never gonna happen to us.
But the way it's done is kind of like close to reality. You know, the way people act
Yes.
and how people react to like their
Well,
environment.
we clearly saw what happened during the COVID outbreak.
Yeah, people were a little crazy. And the whole thing plays in Atlanta, in Georgia.
Yep,
In the States.
ATL represent.
Yo! And it's about like the beginning is about a small group of surviving people that are like trying to somehow search for like a safer future in this like current worldwide zombie apocalypse, and no one really knows. It's so, it's such a new situation for them, and no one really knows like how to handle them, and what is good and what is particularly bad, or how to act. And it's super, super nice, and it's so interesting to see how the characters develop, because I cannot just explain 11 seasons of a series. Really
11 season recap in 5 minutes.
But the character development is actually so interesting to witness, because, for example, the main character, Rick Grimes, he's a deputy police officer, and he's kind of the leader, and he grows so much in his role. Like, as I said, in the beginning, no one really knew how to act, what to do, and had they were normal people like you and me. They had no survival skills.
Well,
or
I
anything.
do, so
I don't have survival
normal people
skills.
like you.
Normal people like me with 0 survival skills. But it's so gripping to see, like, from time to time how they start to improve all their skills, like, regardless if it's about like actual fighting and hunting, or if it's just about their strategies and their organization abilities.
They just get so desperate that they just have to just learn how to
switch
do it.
Survival mode.
Yeah.
And I truly loved it. It was so gripping and sometimes even very nerve-wracking, because human beings are still human beings and sometimes act weird.
Yes.
However, I do have to admit, though, that the first seasons were a lot better than the last ones.
Okay.
But I think that's kind of like very typical for
it
series
always
that
happens.
is so long. Yeah.
Especially 11 seasons over like 12 years.
Yeah.
It has to at one point there will be like a better season than the others.
Out of ideas and what I really didn't like was that the principle of the storyline kind of shifts away from the walkers, that are the zombies.
Okay.
And
because it's named The Walking Dead, so it should be more about the zombies, I think.
Yeah, true. It shifts away from like the actual zombie thing and that like battle of surviving and fighting, and it kind of shifts more into like a clan war thing.
Okay.
Because over the years, people have started to form little villages. Mm-hmm. But and every village has their own leader. Yeah. And they start to fight about resources and guns and like land and all this.
Yeah, so they recreated like governments and things like this, and recreated war and fights between villages, which are like okay.
Yeah, and the workers.
Human beings.
True. For me, it was so unnecessary the way. Like they were fighting and people died because they shot themselves or shot each other.
Okay.
And it was so unnecessary because the walkers, the actual storyline was still like a side quest anymore that they remembered sometimes.
It's there's a breach there, let's kill some zombies and we'll be back tomorrow.
And I was really sad about that, seriously.
But you still watched the 177 episodes.
I think I got stuck at like season 10.
Okay.
Because season 11 wasn't available for a very long time.
Oh.
And now I'm kind of lost, so it's kind of hard to like restart.
But if the first few seasons were the best, I don't think you missed a lot of things.
They were really good. Yeah, and now it's just like a clan war. And people being angry, and everyone has personal issues with each other, and really sad.
Everyone's just a human being.
Yeah,
trying to
so
survive
true.
and trying to force
really
other people to go his
reality,
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair. I think, are you done?
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to the movie. Do you want to present it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Today we'll be talking about The Blind Side, an American movie, as I said, released in 2009. And it's a biographical sports drama film about a young man called Michael, also known as Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Yeah. And Mike has a hard time in school and has problems with his family and surroundings. and growing up with poor education, being taken away from his mother at a very young age. And he goes to a school where he gets into the American football team, where he seriously impresses the coach and everyone else during the trainings and the tournaments. Mathieu, what did you think about the movie?
So I watched this movie when it released in 2009. I think I maybe watched it like in 2012, something around. Yeah, and well, this it's very personal how I feel about this movie because I watched it when I was young, but also my mother, like we are a host family for like foster care, and we had at home a dude that was like basically the same as the main character, so like a tall dude, like maybe 100 kilos.
Wow.
He was barely 16.
Wow.
But like 100 kilos.
Okay,
and
wow.
he was doing rugby.
Okay.
And he had trouble at school. He had trouble with like at home.
That's crazy. Seriously, it's almost like the same
And
storyline.
this movie has really stuck with me as one of my favorite, like the movies that like had more impact on me, because that same dude that was like, he was basically a thug or like wannabe thug, but he cried on that movie when watching it, because the story he related too much to the story. And so like I really love this movie about, well, he didn't, like the dude that I know didn't have the happy ending that Big Mike did. Him and his brother had a couple of problems. They went to prison, everything. So it's not like the same happy ending, but at the same time the story is kind of like really similar, because like they grew up with like in hard like cities, or like they just grew up in like not the best environment, surrounded with drugs, and like it was like not the best thing. But yeah, this movie is just really great, and I just love it because of that, because I always like when I watch it, even like talking with it about it, I'm kind of getting emotional, because I have this memory of this dude that was
like hard and cold, emotional, unavailable guy that seriously
he would just
down.
Like run off. Like we were like an hour and a half from his, not an hour and a half, but like 45 minutes from his high school, and one day, just because he wanted to, he jumped from the first floor of the house. Like he jumped he just like out the window, 3 meters high jump, just to go to school, but not to attend school, just to be with friends and do things. So
and he jumped out the window.
Yeah, he did jump out the window.
What the?
And then just ran away. It was
Wow. Okay.
So kind
crazy.
of a hard situation.
Yeah.
And but like this dude has like, so I've lived with him for 4 years, I think.
That's actually not. That's long.
It is long. I think he arrived when he was like 14, and he left when he was 16, 17. So yeah, around along those lines. So like I really got to know him on a personal level, and we just kind of became friends, even though we had like 4 years of difference in age. But yeah, so that's why this movie. Oh, I kind of drift away from like how I felt about the movie, but like I really like. Okay, so I'm getting back on track.
Yeah.
The movie is really great because like all the story is just impressive at like how some human being can just be nice towards other people, while others are maybe warning them, or like, oh, do you know? It's kind of I think it's a movie we already watched. Like Intouchable, the French movie.
That was nice too.
Because the dude, like the assistant, he is like coming from a rough neighborhood. And he is like working with the rich dude who doesn't care about his backgrounds. And people around him warn them
like, be careful.
He's from a rough neighborhood. And in The Blind Side, it's basically the same thing. Like friends of the Tuhoy family. Like the family that hosts Big Mike.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I watched. I quickly did some research. It's Tuhoy family, and like friends of them are like, but your daughter, she isn't safe around him.
I saw that too.
And the mother asks her daughter if she feels like any
Unsafe.
Unsafe,
him,
and she's like, but
no.
I do feel safe, and we can't just let him just go around and being a bum or like sleep outside or something. So like it's really like heartwarming film, but at the same time there's a bit of drama and a lot of sport. But yeah, it's a great movie. I really like it.
Me too. I feel like probably like the vast majority would probably like the movie because it's so moving and emotional, but not like a kinky, weird love story way, but more like something that actually moves people. And I feel like people often tend to say like social backgrounds and the story behind your family don't really affect your future because it's all you and your ambition and your will to be successful, blah blah blah. That gets you somewhere. Of course, there's some expectations, but in the end, I feel like this movie really shows that it's actually the contrary. That like the way you're brought up actually influences your life a lot, and even if it's just about your self-worth or the trust and confidence you have towards yourself. It shows like how much emotional support by showing some affection or empathy or just like a hug is enough, or like some words that are like well done, we know you tried, actually can improve a whole human being as it's as a person. Especially with teenagers, because at that stage you're so unstable and insecure and not really know what you're doing or what kind of
people expect from you or like what you have to do in life. You have to decide on your future, but like you're barely a teenager. You don't know anything about life, but you still have to decide.
That's crazy. And I feel like especially as a teenager, like a stable household that you can grow up in and that you get support in is actually really, really beneficial.
Yes. I kind of feel that because, well, as I said earlier, I grew up with kids that had like rough backgrounds and family issues, and so I've seen a lot of different situations, and I've got to learn or like to just meet people that had like maybe mental issues or like just parental issues, kids that would just don't have parents, they don't know their parents, so like, and sometimes some that we hosted for like maybe a year or two, we have some they sometimes they contact us and tell us like it's really heartwarming to see how we, like my family, impacted their lives. Because like a couple of times we received messages of them being like, I am really grateful that I've met you and I've been in your house,
it's so nice.
Because it really helped me. It's just heartwarming to see like
how little
like
a little
to us
thing
it was almost meaningless because for my mom it's a job and for us it's just like it's our mom's job, we just have to accept that, but to them it can really just help them a lot.
Such a thing that we would all take for granted, that someone supports you or someone listens to you, like seriously can change like a whole person's life. Which is like barely believable for us.
I mean, first it's just like, okay, I just have a life, I have parents, that's how it goes. But for them, they're having a lot of troubles with like, even school and things. And it's just having support, having someone to help you when you're growing up can just make you
form you
better.
so much, form you a lot, and hopefully push you into the right directions, because it can happen and sometimes you drift away a bit.
Unlike the dude I was talking about who ended up in prison a couple of times. But but some they just not love us, but they're like, I'm really grateful that I've been in your house because it really helped them, because they at home, well, maybe some might not have home, or like their parents wouldn't help them as much as we did. And it really helped them. Like, one of them got a job recently, and he just randomly found my mother in like a supermarket. And he was like, okay, I'm so grateful that you learned me math, how to do like multiplications and things like this, because now it's useful. I could get a job for this. And so, like, it's just, it's like for us it was it was a lot of effort because he was really having a lot of trouble learning things. But
it's,
it really
you
helped
see,
him.
it's worth it to spend some effort into a
Yes.
person.
Yeah, just help people, help your neighbor or whatever. It will help. It will do a lot.
Yeah, even the tiny things that we barely notice could make someone's whole day.
Just a small gift, just a word on a paper for your birthday, you can just make the day like the best day ever. So it's like the tiny things can make a life better.
What a good conclusion.
What a good conclusion. We probably will stop there because already 25 minutes and it's only the two of us.
Oops.
Compared to okay. I think that's it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We will see you on the next episode, which should be out on March 17th.
Great.
Right. Merci d'avoir écouté.
Merci.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.